we are back in Mississippi and United States. Normally I say we're back to Mississippi because we've just been to other states, but this time we've been out of the country. We've been to Australia, and now we are back in Mississippi. But we are down at Bad Habitz Fabrication down in Picayune. We're down here to check on the C10 and to talk with Todd Spiers. So got two different things we're doing here. Todd Spiers was in a horrible crash with his brand new car, and we're gonna come take a look at that and see how that's going. I think they've already started getting the body off of it and stuff. Checking on that, get his side of the story, what happened with him and where he's going and when he's going to be back out, and just see how things went with him. Thankfully he's back working and back going and 100% good and able to talk about it, so that was the main thing. Car gonna need a little bit of work, but it actually held up pretty well, and it is going to be repairable from what I hear. So let's go in here and take a peek at the car and the C10. Also, we're here at Bad Habitz Fabrication, and I was going to share with y'all, he's got a Corvette for sale. It's a very nice looking piece. If anybody's interested in a Corvette, y'all hit up Jeremy at Bad Habitz Fabrication. I'll let y'all see a little peek of it. Super clean car. It rained today, so it's got a little bit of road grime on it, but y'all know what I'm saying. All in all, it is a very, very clean car. So anybody looking for a Corvette, y'all hit him up. All right, guys, we are here at Bad Habitz Fabrication with Todd Spiers. Here, you got some wings now.
Yeah, my hair you talking about?
No, I ain't talking about your hair this time.
Yeah, I got some wings, man. I earned my wings.
Got your pilot's license and got some wings?
No, I don't have a license. I never have.
Yeah, you just flying off the radar.
Flying off the seat of my pants.
And we got Jeremy here.
Hello.
Got Caitlin, Cameron.
Cameron, you say hi. Hi.
Can you tell everybody in the world, say hey? Say hello. Hello. Aw. Is it gonna be all right? Say it's gonna be all right. Yeah, it's gonna be all right. Oh yeah, that makes everything better, y'all. All right, well, this is flight risk, I assume now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I had no idea. I said it. Everybody was like, "What's the name? What's the name?" Man, I don't know. Something will stick. When I said that, I didn't realize that was actual case it was going to happen, but flight risk, it looks like that's it.
Boy, did it name itself fast.
Yeah, man, I've never been so heartbroken all my life. Never.
So for the ones that don't know, most everybody knows, second pass out, this thing was flying. I mean, and I mean ET wise, it was rolling, but then unfortunately it took flight. This is what's left, which is good news. Jeremy, you say it's fixable?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It has a 3/10 of a degree twist, and it's all from carbon fiber X brace forward. The rest of the car measures out 100% perfect.
Okay. So that's super good news. Here's the body. First time I saw the car in person. I left out for Australia. I do love the color choice.
Matches a fighter jet.
He mentioned a few names of this car before I left, and I told him it wasn't acceptable. But boy, I think he really meant it. So all my stuff is John Doe, Track Doe. And do you know the name he recommended for this car, Jeremy?
I have no clue.
He called and told me he was gonna name it Waldo.
Painted silver was gonna name it Waldo.
I said, you are not parking by me if you name it Waldo. Oh, so it ended up being flight risk, named itself. So take us through what happened.
I mean, how far back we're gonna go, man? It's
So hey, if it's only 2 passes, I think we can hear the whole story.
yeah, we got time, don't we?
We got time.
Yeah, so the first pass, I mean, we loaded what was a soft tune-up, and just run it 300 foot. So I'm gonna run it to the gear change. The other car, the parachute didn't come out. Some of the reason I crashed it, driving one right to the edge and then trying to get the parachute out. Well, when the parachute didn't come out, crashed it. So Jeremy said, look, we need to make sure the parachutes work. Be sure to deploy the chutes. It don't matter if you're going fast enough or not. So that's what we done. 300 foot, dropped the chutes out, everything worked, come back. I was like, man, I hugged his neck. I said, dude, I've never drove a car that handled so well. I said, this is awesome. So same tune up, we was just gonna run it all the way through. There was a lot of wind blowing that day, probably 40, 50 mile an hour wind. It was not a good idea for us to be out.
Too.
The car was set up for no prep. We had it set up for the street, had it set up for no prep. We went over there on a prep track, and when we come out from like behind where the bleachers are and we got in the wind, it took flight. And I was sitting there thinking, you know, I felt the struts come up and top out, and it was just squatting down in the back end. I'm like, oh yeah, man, this thing's digging. It drives so good. And then boom, there was the sky. And I've never had that happen before, so it was a new one on me. But
Yeah, it looked like it was straight as an arrow in the video. Like,
man,
I'm talking laser straight.
So nice. But, and we, you know, a lot of people shared their opinions and all, that, oh, you didn't have no weight on the front of it, you didn't have this, you didn't have that, you know. And maybe if we'd had a bunch of weight on the front of it, it may have kept it from happening. I don't know. It was, we got air under the front of it. The car is wider, so going into the trailer, I told Jeremy, do not put bull horns on it. It will not fit in the trailer. So we cut the exhaust off to where they're going straight out the side. And I feel like that once it started really building some steam, it was giving it, you know, it was giving it a little uplift, I think.
Gotcha.
And
So the exhaust is pointing a little downward.
yeah.
It's pretty much straight out, but once it starts boosting, it kind of chooses the path, you know, the path of the least resistance, so it kind of straightens out as it flows out. On the two-step, it shoots perfectly straight out, but as soon as it starts boosting, we think it's pushing downward.
Yeah, you can see on that pass, it looked like it was blowing the dust off the track as I was going down. That, and you know, it just got air under the front of it, and it just grabbed it and took it. The front end was not in the air. If we look back at the data log, the front end was not in the air. It was on a good pass. The wheels were rolling right up until the moment it left. Jeremy wanted to put a chin spoiler on the front of the car. That was another thing that I told him that I would probably just rip it off going in the trailer, that it was not necessary. So it was probably a little over 150 mile an hour when we left the ground with a 40 mile an hour headwind. There was a couple things that went wrong.
Perfect.
And this is also, now I'm gonna go ahead and say, this is part of the Bad Habitz test schedule that we done. So he was backing up to car number one. He wanted me to see how far I could take him and how safe it was. So, okay, got you, buddy. I said, you build me another one, I'll make it happen. So we did that, but look, this is the last time. This one held up great.
I don't think that was Jeremy's plan, y'all. I think
ready.
Todd pulling y'all's leg just a little bit.
Testing my cars.
Well,
over that.
No more test dummies. I mean, I look like a dummy, but I'm no more test dummies.
so the car was handling great and it just left the ground.
Car handled well, man, and it left the ground. And the hood was really, the front cap was really sealed off, really good. The old car, if you got going so fast, the hood would kind of lift up off the windshield and it would let a little air out. And I think that just everything was built exactly how I wanted Jeremy to build it. You know, I told him, man, I don't want no gaps by the doors. I don't want no gaps here, you know. And so he done exactly what I asked him to do. He told me that he's never listening to me again. So He said, you're not the chassis guy, man. You just drive what I build from now on. So I think I'm gonna listen.
You know, I think after looking at this deal, I think that I've been lucky along the way, because I mean, people say it can't be heavy on the rear or it's going to do that. You know, all my cars have been heavy on the rear, all my small tire stuff, and long struts on the front, heavy on the rear, but my stuff was never this clean and nice. Like mine, you know, it had multiple combos to where there was holes in the hood for stuff it didn't have, and you know, a lot of times we run John without the hood.
Really big holes for the exhaust too.
Yeah, yeah. That's a whole nother story. If he wants to tell that story, I'll let him tell it. He done brought it up. Now, one time we had a hole that was like gigantic in the fender, and he said, I'm gonna build the exhaust for it. I don't even need the front cap here. Nobody can miss that hole. So, existing hole in the fender, and it was really big, twice the size of the pipe coming out. So he builds the exhaust. We go to set the front end on. He missed. He missed it.
Just had you trimming a little.
I was like, well, guess you can miss that hole.
Look, the hole is twice as big as the exhaust, and we had to trim it to make it fit the exhaust. So that's a whole nother story. Sorry, Jeremy, you brought that one up, dude. You do. So we put without a doubt the exhaust to come out. Without a doubt. We go let that one go. So here's the car. This is the aftermath. As y'all heard, Todd said this thing drove great. It flies well, drives well.
I think the flying needs some little work.
It doesn't land.
It don't land well.
No, it flew fine.
It was a Buzz Lightyear land.
So this is the damage that's on the chassis here. Gonna have to put a strut bar in it. Around the fuel cells bent a little bit. This whole strut tower didn't move at all. The exhaust is still on this side. So unfortunately on the chassis, other than excluding the front half, which is easily fixable, this is really the only ding on the chassis, right?
Yeah, the stock rocker pile drives into it, and he hit the ground at 7.5 G's, so everybody's clear. That was a serious smack.
Yep. So all in all, the chassis, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised the chassis is in very good condition. It held up for safety and for reusing it.
Yeah, only car I ever seen. 0 rear steer, 0 preload. So we're just gonna start in the middle. See what happens.
Off the trailer.
Beautiful.
We did
Straight as an arrow.
no changes, straight off.
Man,
Heck yeah.
Always had to get over here. Let's twist them.
Oh, I'd have missed it. I'd have had 2 flats. For your body weight, I'd have had 2 flats of preload, and I'd have had eighth of an inch of rear steer.
That's what he wanted to start with. I said, I think we should start with 0.
Yep.
So that's what we did.
I would have missed it a little because I'd have had an 1/8 of rear in it.
Oh man.
And then this ultra carbon seat, I mean, that's a safety feature right there. 7.5 G's. It literally has one little tiny crack in it. And Ultra Carbon is an awesome company. And he's replacing that seat for us for free, as he warranties all of his stuff if any kind of damage like this happens. He's a great guy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Have you ever seen one break the bearing on the axle, Scott?
I have not.
It shattered the bearing.
That's crazy.
It didn't appear to hurt the axle nor the housing, but it shattered the bearing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cameron's very mad at you because you crashed your car. You sat in this car every day.
But it's fixable, man, and it's been a learning experience for me, big time. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've never been so brokenhearted in all my life. This literally killed me from Sunday all the way till Wednesday. I felt like I'd lost a loved one. I mean, it hurt. I mean, it daggum hurt. And you know, they come over to the track. I was tuning a couple cars. They come over to the track and all ganged around me like it was some kind of intervention or something, you know. And at that point, they let me know that a bunch of my friends and a bunch of you guys had got together and come up with the parts and the labor to fix it, man. And, what, darling? It's broke, huh?
Yeah,
It's broke. I broke it. You got the ball?
Come here.
She's so sweet.
Come here.
How can
Go see
something
Mama.
so sweet come from you?
I know. It's crazy.
But anyway,
Because of
man,
Mama.
just knowing there's a lot of friends and people that's behind you, man, it kind of brought me out of it. You know, it made me smile a little bit. So helped me to move forward. I've seen there's some guys doing some benefit races and stuff like that, man, and that means the world to me. It really does. Really means the world to me that people care that much about, you know, what's going on and about your passion.
Yep, I think it's well deserved, everything that everybody took up for you, because I've told people along the way, you know, you've helped a lot of my friends along the way. You've helped some of my friends that you've never met, and then, you know, that says a lot about you. And for everybody, I think everybody sees the same Todd that I see, and I value your friendship and the way you carry yourself and do in life is a good example for all of us. And I think everybody sees it, and everybody acted on it, and everybody was touched by it and helped you. And I think that's awesome that the race community can come together like that.
Yeah, that means the world to me. You know, with all the companies that came together. You know, and then that means a lot to me, and that says a lot for when I go to buy something else. You know, when you're down on your luck and stuff tears up, you know, and then they contact you and say, send that stuff back to me, and we're gonna get you some new stuff out. You know, Precision Turbo sent brand new turbos the last go around. You know, and it just RC Comp with the wheels this go around. It's just over and over again. We could sit here and name them all, and I really. And
We got Wiles drive shaft
Yeah.
too. They sent us a new drive shaft. That thing was in 4 pieces.
We're gonna miss a few, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
apologize for Todd, and we're gonna miss a few. But just right off the top of my head, I'm gonna try to go through some of them so he don't mess up right now. But this wreck is still fresh, and there's no way we can get all of them. But we'll eventually tag y'all. But I know there's been several companies, and I'll tell you what, I'll let Jeremy help me. The drive shaft.
Yeah, that's Wiles drive shaft.
Okay. Strut cups.
Hammer B Ham is giving us strut cups, carbon fiber anti-roll bar, and a new wishbone kit. And the wishbone kit and the strut cups have already come.
RC Components.
RC Components is giving us a whole new set of wheels. Them wheels are only 2 passes old. They were brand new.
Okay. You said drive shaft as well?
It's Wiles, yeah.
Okay. And then
Ross Chandler.
yep. And then Penske is trying to get our struts.
Yep.
Jerry at Penske's trying to do our struts all for us. He said he'd take care of that for us.
Marty sent.
Yeah, Marty Marilette's sending us
Marty
new
sent
limiters
more.
because we destroyed his limiters. I think there's a Heim left.
Those things, I told him they look pretty bulletproof, but
they're
they're not flight rated, Marty.
They're awesome when
Yeah.
when they're not crushed.
And I'm sure we're missing a few guys. Please, please.
Wolf Aircraft.
Yeah,
was on it.
Wolf,
Wolf Aircraft
yep.
is hooking us up again.
Yep. And if we missed you guys, please don't hold it against us. Like I say, it's sort of a spur of a moment deal, and
MMR said if there was any engine damage, let them know.
yep.
There was just several guys, and look, I had no idea that everybody was behind my back doing that, you know, contacting everybody, and but it's pretty awesome, man, pretty awesome.
Well, it definitely couldn't have happened to a nicer guy as far as the people coming together. I wish you wouldn't have wrecked, but it brings the race community together and shows you what kind of friends you got.
Yeah.
It really does. Well, I think y'all got anything y'all want to add to it? I think
Triangle Speed's another one, man.
Yep.
Triangle Speed's another one.
Yep. For sure. Maybe
Always there anytime you need anything, you know.
I may see if I can get a list of all the guys that donated and post them with this video.
I mean, there was several individuals, you know, from people from all over, you know. It was just Man, look, and what I like about it is that we may all be competitors and we may all be at each other's throat, but when it comes down to something like this, you know, everybody knows how Team NOLA and the Black Sheep Mafia is always back and forth at each other's throat, but, you know, both teams jumped in there and sent money or sent stuff to help, you know. And
For sure.
And I'm thankful for it, I really am.
I told somebody the other day, I can't say that I always see eye to eye with Russell Stone, but man, he has helped so many people in the racing world that I have a soft spot of me. I always has to like him because of it, you know.
Yeah.
Just I can't be mad at him because he helped so many people.
Russell Stone's a great person.
And thank you.
He's a rowdy little guy.
He's rowdy. Under different circumstances, I'm probably sure we would be better friends. But like I say, we always have to race against each other, and we always
Rivals,
we're just rivals. But I respect him as a man and how he helps people, you know. And everybody, anybody that helped Todd, or you know, if you've helped anybody in the racing community,
there's
thank
several
you.
that called and offered, hey, let me know what you need, you know, but
Yep. It is an awesome group that came together for sure. But the good news is this thing is fixable. It's gonna be beautiful once again. I think I don't think it's just this car that that's had issues in the past. I think this has got everybody looking at their program and trying to make some improvements. And I mean, I don't think, you know, who knew you could put a car together and it take flight? I don't think that's ever been something I even considered.
Especially on a 28 slick.
Yeah, on a 28 slick. I mean, I can see if you're running 250 mile an hour or something.
Or
but
radial or anything like that. Like, it's kind of expected, but on a 28-inch slick, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, so we definitely got our eyes on it, trying to figure out ways to improve it. All right, guys, we were just going to share with you a little bit about Todd's story and Jeremy at Bad Habitz Fabrication. All in all, I know it's a bad situation, but good news. Racing community came together. The car's fixable. You got anything, Todd?
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and let him fix it this go around. I sure hope this doesn't affect your chassis building career because, guys, this is I'd say it's probably 90% my fault that we went over backwards. But anyway, I know what the problem is. I'm telling you, 100% I know what the problem is, and that's him. That's the other 10%. That stupid buckle he put in here. That's what done it.
The buckle?
Yeah, that holds the wind in there.
Well, I don't see. How did that cause the problem?
Look on the other side of it. This is a Mustang, son.
Oh no.
GM.
Does that say GM?
That says GM. It's the whole problem.
They found the problem,
I
y'all.
had to make sure out of all the blank ones, I put the GM in.
I hope you're happy.
I mean, GM transmission, GM belt buckle.
Hey, the black on there's GM.
I mean, you might as well change motors now.
Oh no, that ain't gonna happen. What, you want me to get a Dodge?
that was a he got me with that one. All right, y'all, we out. Thank y'all for watching. Please like, subscribe, go check out Bad Habitz Fabrication and Todd Spiers Wall Street. This is a flight risk though. Page is still called Wall Street.
Double Dutch me. I'll be dang.
C10 looking good, y'all. Hopefully about the next week we'll have it back at the shop and I can start wiring and get this thing knocked out. He's got to do the charge pipe. Got all the brake lines run, new master cylinder. It's coming together, y'all. Wheel tubs, he's already got them built, just got to put them in. So we here at Bad Habitz Fabrication. Like I say, we just looking the truck over. We was here primarily talking about Todd's car, but the truck's coming along as well. Hopefully I can pick it up next week. Super thankful Todd's car is gonna be fixable. Chassis is definitely fixable on this thing. I know we already walked all the way around and stuff, but the body took most of the damage on it. All right, guys, we out. We headed back to Petal, Mississippi. We got about an hour drive. We'll see y'all soon. Please like, subscribe, check us out. Skytown Motorsports on all platforms.